Hi, Manish Mehta here with Star Ledger Jets beat reporter Dave Hutchinson at the Jets Atlantic Health Training Facility in Florham Park, previewing Week 7, the 3-2 Jets traveling to the 1-4 Oakland Raiders. Sunday, 4:15 on CBS. And Hutch, the Raiders' so-called commitment to excellence has been more like a commitment to dysfunction the past few years. 5 different head coaches in the last 5 seasons. The latest coaching casualty, Lane Kiffin, who was fired in a messy divorce a couple weeks ago. Tom Cable takes over in his first game at the helm last week, a 34-3 loss to the New Orleans Saints. A lot of talk about how owner Al Davis, one of the faces of pro football in this generation, has been too meddlesome, too hands-on. So if the Raiders want to return to those winning ways, can they do so with this guy still in the mix and in charge?
Well, I tell you, Manish, first of all, it's just very, very sad to see. I mean, because Al Davis was an absolute maverick. I remember back in the day when they were slinging the ball all around with Daryl LaMonica, and, you know, it's just unfortunate that it's come to this. But the answer to your question is no. Al Davis is a football guy. That's the problem. And he knows the game. And as long as he owns the team, he's going to put his fingers, and just like Phil Parcells said, if you want me to cook, I want to buy the groceries. So, you know, this guy wants to be in the middle of things, and until he just divorces himself from the organization, I think there's always going to be problems there.
On the field, Brett Favre, coming off his shakiest performance as a Jet, 3 turnovers, 2 hideous interceptions in last week's win against the Bengals. He has a great track record, however, against the Raiders, a perfect 4-0 in his career, and of course in a career littered with highlights and special moments. The one I think that football fans everywhere remember is Favre's performance 5 years ago, the day after his father died on Monday night. A magical night, 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards passing in the first half.
Oh, definitely, Manish. I mean, that's one of those games that you kind of remember where you were when you watched that game. And I remember sitting in my living room and watching that game, and, you know, everyone was wondering whether or not Brett would play. And, you know, the Raider fans, they're notorious for, you know, flipping people the bird and everything, but they just gave Favre a standing ovation, and he was just on fire, you know. And he was talking this week, and he was saying how that game was just, you know, one of his, you know, most memorable, and, you know, I'm sure he's looking forward to going back there.
Right, definitely a surreal moment. The feature matchup this week, the Jets' stingy run defense, 3rd best in the league, allowing only 69 yards on the ground, going up against a potent Raider offense that features electrifying running back Darren McFadden, the rookie, Justin Fargas, a 1,000-yard rusher from last year, and even Michael Bush. That threesome averaging 141 yards on the ground, one of the tops in the league, a great measuring stick for the Jet defense. How do you think they're going to fare against the Raider run offense?
Well, I tell you, it's going to be very, very interesting. And the thing I remember, the last time the Jets went to Oakland in '03, the Raiders started the game with 21 straight rushes because they just so disrespected the Jets' run defense. And the Jets won that game, by the way, in overtime. But it's going to be very interesting to see how this Jet defense stands up against that Raider offense. We were just talking to Calvin Pace. He said, you know, with those 3 guys, they keep everyone fresh. They have a solid offensive line. The Raiders can't do much this year, but they can run the ball.
Right, and their defense is susceptible. Brett Favre could potentially sling it all over the field. Last week, Breeze went for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Thomas Jones in that offensive line probably wants to get that run game going as well after his career-high 3-touchdown performance last week. How do you think the Jets will attack the Raider defense?
Well, I think what they may try to do is try to go back to that traditional, maybe try to establish the run and see how that goes. And then if that doesn't pan out, I think they may get more aggressive. But I think the Raiders are struggling so much, you know, I don't think it's going to be a situation where they're going to be playing catch up. So I think they may just try to establish that run and let the game unfold.
The Jets, of course, in the second of 3 very winnable games. Hutch, how do you think this game plays out? What's your prediction?
I would have to go with the Jets, 24, Raiders, 13. I don't think Oakland's going to be able to score much here, and you know, I think the Jets are going to keep this thing rolling here and try to get back into contention.
I agree, and for right now at least, I'm drinking the gangrene Kool-Aid. I think they're going to win 27-20. It'll be a little bit closer than people think. The Raiders actually were pretty competent at times under Kiffin, almost beat the Buffalo Bills, blew a 2-touchdown lead to the San Diego Chargers in the second half earlier in the year. 27-20, I think the Jets improved to 4-2 as they come back east to host the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 8. For Star Ledger Jets beat reporter Dave Hutchinson, I'm Mehta. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.